J.G. Carter Stadium, home of the TCU Horned Frogs. Kansas State about to kick off to get this game started. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. So TCU's offense will get the first swing of the game. And all eyes on this man as he takes the field. The defense knows they're going to try to throw in the football, and it probably won't matter, guys.
Oh, but the defense, Reese, will be locked in. He will see double coverage. They will know where he's at on every single snap.
He's going to take a shot. And that ball is hauled in inside the 35. And the defense couldn't corral him, and he took it all the way. Touchdown, TCU!
Man, you want to make a statement early in a game. Your first offensive possession, you go 75 yards for the touchdown. Their opponent right now is literally in shock and awe. They're in disbelief. They don't even know what hit them.
Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. So the TCU Horned Frogs offense will go to work for the first time. A big challenge for both of these quarterbacks, Jesse, is dealing with a ball-hawking free safety on the other side.
Oh, you're right, Reese. QBs better be good with their eyes. Better not stare down wide receivers in this one, because if you float the ball down the middle of the field, that's getting picked.
And these guys are going to be right in the middle of the field, flying all over the field, and quarterbacks will make sure that they are locked in and not throwing the ball near those guys.
They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. The play-action fake. Got it on the outside. It's Gore. And he'll be run out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. Not a very productive play there. This crowd, full throat, spreading the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day.
This is a tough part of the field. You want to try to create some space and give yourself an opportunity not to throw out of your own end zone. They didn't hold up in protection. They give up the sack, but thank goodness they didn't give up a safety.
Looking for a block. It's Baker. They make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at it. And that one's incomplete. We're taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
And I tell you what, when you got a guy that is that good at dissecting your defense, you better get pressure. Nice job by the defense, hurrying him up, speeding up the thought process.
They're trying to get to it. Oh, he's going backwards, in trouble, and down he goes. A tremendous loss. Even if they don't convert, picking up a few would give them a... He's going for it all. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a fourth down. And the Horned Frogs decide to punt it away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. K-State has the ball back, and the Power Cat offense returns to the field. Looking to go up top on first down. Finds his man. It's Gore. They get him down after he makes the catch. Still some work to do after that last completion at second down. Oh, it's a reverse.
Well, this offense can get after you a variety of ways in the running game. One of the ways they do it is by using their wide receivers on jet sweeps. Good example right there.
On 3rd and short, the power run here. And they make the tackle, but the official has tossed his flag.
Illegal flag.
So the penalty will not be enforced. The defense declines and stands on the result of the play. K-State sends the punt team onto the field, ready to boot it away. The coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Now the quarterback changing the original play call. Wants to throw on first down. And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with a sack.
I love the defensive effort there. They didn't get him right away. They stayed after him. He was scrambling, going backwards. They get the sack on the first play of the drive.
Going for the big play. And the incomplete pass, taking a shot on second down, and they'll be left with a third down. I'm not positive, but that first down marker might be in the next county. Takes a shot as he lets it go. And it's incomplete. Good play downfield by the DB. The Horned Frogs will punt it away on fourth down. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. And here comes the Kansas State offense back onto the field. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm. Got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put something together here, Tom.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive. So they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this one.
One back in the backfield. He gets the carry. Knocked off his feet.
I think the OC would have been really happy with a small gain and an easier third down. But how about the effort by the running back to get this close? He saw the first down marker, tried to get to it, got close enough now where it's an easy situation on third down. And shoot, and I got fourth down in my pocket if I want to go for it.
Kansas State will have to punt it away. He'll try to really get into this one. He'll bring it back. It's Baker. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he stopped. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right? Go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And, David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
Well, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game. You're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
The offense setting up shop at the 46, first and 10. Caught near the sideline, it's Baker. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play. You just can't hit the quarterback like that. That is a dumb play, and the defender got caught red-handed. So they'll get a fresh set of downs thanks to that roughing the passer penalty. It's first and 10. Not much working there. It'll be second and 9.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
Gets out of bounds after the big play, and they'll be set up in business with a first and goal.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
Finds his big tight end. They'll mark him down at the 2. The excellent execution on that throw and catch. Firing to the right, complete. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Horned Frogs. They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. K-State has the ball back, and the Power Cat offense returns to the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get away from... Oh, my goodness, he's still moving. That run epitomizes a veteran, savvy senior who knows how to find space. Kansas State pushing the pace. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Fires complete on the crosser. Got room at the 35. They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to wind up losing a couple of yards as time expires here in the first quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and TCU has the lead. Man, that was an impressive and dominant first quarter. Let's take a look at the stats before we move on. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. Quick handoff. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise. Backing this defense on third down. He's looking downfield to throw. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Catch in the middle. It's Rice. Running through contact. And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats!
And what did I start for this offense? The throw game getting working, getting the touchdown pass. This quarterback getting a little bit of confidence. This passing game getting in a rhythm. Nice start for this offense.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Gentlemen, let's take a look at what's happening in this exciting college football game. Akron is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. This program has picked itself up before, and it's capable of it again today. They're trailing by just 4 to Eastern Michigan. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best.
Looking for a deep man. And that will be incomplete, man. That would have been a big hitter if they could have done it, but second down coming.
Well, guess who? They're taking a shot to the guy that's just been torching this defense in the entire first half. He's already got over 100 yards, so why not try to add to it and force this
unloads it downfield. And he's got it inside the 30-yard line.
Well, it didn't take long for this guy to leave his impact in the game, guys. With that catch, this guy's already over 100 yards in the game, and we're not even done the first half.
This is an explosive attack, and that last big play has them set up 1st and 10 from the 26. Coming after it. And boy, was that pressure in his face immediately. Down he goes. This offensive line has just been unable to keep them away from the quarterback. Now it's 2nd and long. He's looking to throw. Sends it downfield. And it falls incomplete, but that could have been disastrous. A defender was right there. This is a 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Time to take a shot. And it's picked off at the goal line.
I like it. It's like laying up on a par 5. There's no time and no place for that. We don't need that, all right? Take your shots. It's 3rd and long. I don't need to throw it 17 yards short of the stick. Nice job taking a shot down the field, trying to get the first down through the interception, but no harm.
Fakes his man out. They finally get him on the ground, but the big running play moves the change for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
Linebackers have such an amazing responsibility. Got to play run, got to play pass. How about this? Seeing the run aggressively, getting downhill, and getting in the backfield and making a tackle for a loss.
Give to the running back. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands.
Illegal flag in the back.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. Pressure coming. Here comes the crowd trying to make it tough on 3rd and long. Defense didn't maintain its discipline there, and they get into the neutral zone. It'll cost them 5 yards.
Defense.
Defense way over eager there, and now the entire playbook just opens up before the eyes of this offensive coordinator. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here.
Well, for this defense, finally, you're seeing pressure on the quarterback. They're outside the top 50 in sacks per game. They've been waiting to find some more consistent pressure to help them win games, and they're getting it in this game now. 3 sacks on the day. They're just simply winning and doing a better job executing up front at the point of attack.
K-State sends the punt team onto the field, ready to boot it away. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Running it back, it's Baker. Really nice job all the way around. Got a few blocks, made a couple of moves, and a good return on that one before he's pushed out of bounds. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game if you're going to win. And, David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense. He's looking to pass. Fires into the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, TCU. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Kansas State offense back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Picks his way and gets 4 out to the 27.
And runs like that are like body blows in an boxing match. 4, 5, 6-yard gains early turn into 20, 30, 40-yard gains later. They really wear down defenses, and they test their physicality.
Starting to feel a little pressure. And couldn't quite find the crevice he needed to pick up the 1st down. Kansas State will have to punt it away. Looking for a block. It's Baker. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. Jesse, a very productive drive last time wound up with a touchdown.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice balance on that last one, Dave. Let's see what they can do here in this.
Lofts one high and deep. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
Bad news on that play, it's an incompletion. The good news is the quarterback knew if his guy wasn't going to catch it, nobody was with that ball landing out of bounds.
Now on 2nd down after the incompletion. He's looking to throw. Going back to the well, another deep ball. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at 3rd down. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. He'll take another shot here. And trying to put points on the board on 3rd down. Now they're staring at 4th down.
Well, the defender got his hand on that one, tipped it up in the air, and offense, man, they're lucky that one wasn't picked.
They're throwing for it on 4th down. Takes a hit as he fires. It's incomplete. A 4th down stop and the turnover on downs. Line gets set. 1st down. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Moves around to clear up the vision. Short gain on the play before he slides. There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw a little closer. Wants to fire on 2nd down. The throw. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. That's caught. It's Rice. And they wrap him up, but not before he gets enough on the catch for the first down. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They'll throw it on first down. Caught in the backfield. It's Rice. And he has run out of bounds as they go backwards there and just avoided the contact. Let's see what they've got on second down. He's looking to throw. Wide open downfield. And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end. They'll throw it on first down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Gore. Good throwing catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. On second down, looking again to throw. And the misfire goes out of the back of the end zone. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. He'll throw on third down. Unleashes to the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Kansas State.
Man, I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
Signals for a fair catch around the 5-yard line and makes it. Only 10 seconds remaining here in the first half as they put it in play, first and 10. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Fires one high and deep. Pass falls incomplete, and there are still 3 seconds left. One more snap coming before halftime. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. He's not afraid to go deep. And he pulls it in inside the 15-yard line. They finally get him stopped. Man, oh man, did he almost make a play to end this half, but stopped on a touchdown-saving tackle. And the Horned Frogs will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. K-State has the ball back, and the Power Cat offense returns to the field. If they're going to get on top in this game, they're going to have to find a way to get the running game going in the second half.
Agree, so it can create some more balance, some more unpredictability. I feel like this defense has got a good beat on what they're doing, especially if they don't mix it up a little bit. So I do look for a little second half running the football Palmer out of this group.
And I think the thing, Dave, is they just got to be more physical. I don't think this is a scheme question about trying different run plays. I think it's up to the big fellas up front. They've just got to make the decision that they're going to be tougher here in the second half so that they can win this game.
Oh, what a grab by the defense. Bringing it back. He's at the 20. Touchdown, Horned Frogs. And this defense coming up with points of their own. What an interception return. The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it, don't drop it. Then thought, don't get caught, don't get caught. And he did the pick six.
These guys can play offense, too. Now, look at this. I show you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play. But defense, great job making the interception. And you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing all the way back, brother.
And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. And here comes the Kansas State offense back onto the field. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick.
sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick six and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do. Because of that singular instance, I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out and not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
Kansas stay quick to the line. Really good job working through his progression. You get it to him quickly, and the big tight end has a chance to run a little.
And a really good job by the QB throwing an accurate throw. I got to hit those guys on the move, on the run, so they can do this. They can catch the football, get upfield, and chew up some extra yards.
I don't know if that's the coverage you want to be throwing wide receiver screens against. Oftentimes, you want the receivers to have some access. You want the DBs to be off a couple of yards so you can help set up the blocks and give the receivers somewhere to go with it. It's hard to run that against press coverage, and they only picked up a few yards there.
Offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Now on second down. Off play action. Slips a tackle. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it.
One of the things I love about this kid is that he goes to work. He struggled his last game out, completed less than 50% of his throws. So back to the drawing board, back to fundamentals, and you can see that paying dividends in this game. I know he just threw an incompletion, but for the most part, this guy has been spot on.
He gets the job done, picking up the first down, then getting down. And the Wildcats have this offense rolling. Looks as if the defense was a little too eager there, got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Encroachment. Defense.
Defense couldn't quite hold its water, and it'll be 5 free yards for the O. The offense set for a first down play. They run the reverse. He's knocked down in the backfield, a swarming defense, and he'll lose 7.
It's so easy to let your eyes lie to you. You see the ball kind of go the other way. What's my assignment? My assignment is to make sure I contain the backside. Great job by the defense, not getting fooled, playing their assignment, making the play.
The hand to the running back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
Can't make the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down. Here comes the field goal unit as they'll try to take the 3. And he's going to have to get into this football. This is a 53-yard attempt. He got it.
How nice is it as a head coach to have a kicker like this? It makes these decisions on fourth down so much easier. Just trot him out there and let him stroke it through the uprights.
He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. Going up top. Oh, and he gets downfield for the big catch. And he's brought down after a huge completion. They just dialed up one big play. Let's see if they've got another one on 1st and 10 from fires toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, TCU. No midseason concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead.
Really nice job working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And the extra point is good, and the score is 35-17. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. K-State has the ball back, and the Power Cat offense returns to the field. Man, how comforting is it to know that even if your offense stalls out a little, Jesse, that field goal kicker can knock it in from a long way out.
Well, he's one of the best in the country, Reese, no doubt. But this offense would like him and prefer for him to kick an extra point on this drive. And to do that, David, they've got to have more rhythm on offense.
Yeah, create some more rhythm, create some more explosive plays, and maybe some more balance. And listen, it's nice to have that weapon and kick long field goals. You kick too many field goals, you don't get very many W's.
They'll give it to him again. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. 2nd and 12. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. And this offense is desperate to keep this drive alive, trailing by multiple possessions, and it's getting late. Got it set up on the outside. Defense was not fooled by that screen to the back, and they'll stop him short of the marker. It'll be 4th down. K-State sends the punt team onto the field, ready to boot it away. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. Bringing it back, it's Baker. Makes a move. There he goes. Open it up. He will score. Touchdown, Horned Frogs. Ready to try the point after. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Akron is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. This program has picked itself up before, and it's capable of it again today. It's a tight one right now. They're trailing by only 5 to Eastern Michigan. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. He's looking to throw. Quickly to the tight end. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the big fella. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the 1st down. They'll run this play from the pistol. That's the end of the quarter, and TCU has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. As we start the 4th quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. And the Wildcats have it with a 1st and 10. He wants to throw. Got his man quickly. Smashes through the tackle. And the explosiveness, the big gainer gets it to the 49-yard line. The Wildcats are on the move. He'll just keep slinging it. Complete in the middle. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a 1st down at the 31. New set of downs after that completion.
Well, if you could give a helmet sticker to this defensive coaching staff, they would get one because of the plan they've had for this guy at wide receiver. He is one of the best in the entire country with his speed and his athleticism, but they have had a plan for him. Whether it's man coverage, zone, they've been able to double him, they've been able to change up the looks, and they have not been able to get him involved in the game, and that's why they're going to win this one.
He got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
This defense has just been all over this guy all game long. Under pressure, they're finding a way to get to him and affect his rhythm. Of course, they have an interception in this game. That's why they've got a big lead here in the 4th quarter. This guy has never gotten into a rhythm.
They'll give him a couple. That leaves him with 3rd and 8.
This quarterback right now is in a groove. He's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Yeah, when you get penetration by that defense right away, and there's no way to cut at all for that back, he gets destroyed right away. No way that play was going to be successful. Way too much penetration.
False start. Offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions this late. 4th down attempt coming. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Ball into the end zone, and it's intercepted. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Comes out throwing on 1st down. Stands in and takes the hit. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. He wants to take the top off. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on second down. Now it's third down. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. And it falls incomplete, and the offense is lucky to have it. Defender right there almost had it in his grasp. They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And it's incomplete, and the defense stands tall and gets off the field. A great spot to start this drive for the offense. Use the play fake, now to throw. Moving out of the pocket. The quarterback scrambled around, but the defense able to scramble him and turn it into a sack. They'll try to keep that sack from wrecking this drive here on 2nd and 15. Here's the handoff. He rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line before they finally get him stopped. The Wildcats trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Relentless, tough running gets it down to the 4. 2nd and goal coming up. Wide receiver coming across in motion. On 2nd down, wants to throw. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss.
Well, this guy must feel like he's run into a buzzsaw in this game. He has been under duress all game long. That's a big reason why he's thrown multiple interceptions in the game, too. Nothing coming easy to him. It's hard to see the field when your internal clock is going off so fast because of the pressure of this defense.
And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats! Well, just as you would expect, that didn't take very long.
It didn't, Reese, and you've got to make great field position count. When you've got opportunities, you got to pay it off. And the offense took advantage, scoring a touchdown. Didn't have far to go, but they got the points they needed.
They're down big, but they'll keep fighting to the bitter end and line up for the onside kick here. Few anxious moments there, but the hands team true to its name as they make the grab and get the ball. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. What a turn that last drive was. Didn't pick up the 4th down, and it led to the scoring drive, David. And it's caught inside the 15. And he'll be run out of bounds, and these guys are piling up some serious yardage totals. He's been so locked in, it seems like any pass called is a guaranteed chunk play.
Yeah, and winning late like this in the ball game, keep trusting and keep spinning. You know why? Because stats matter late in the game. You want some postseason awards? Keep chucking it. Keep getting those stats.
Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Wide out in motion. Quick pass on the jet motion. He's really close to that 1st down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. Quick pass on the fly motion. Touchdown, TCU! And the beatdown has ensued. With that, they are closing in on bowl eligibility, but with this big lead and a 6-0 start, much bigger dreams for this squad. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And here comes the Kansas State offense back onto the field. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Slings it downfield. He's got it. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a 1st down. An explosive play to start the drive, and they'll try to keep the D on its heels. He'll come out throwing on 1st down. Quarterback strolling away from heat.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot
looking to throw. Gets it out fast. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Late hit on the quarterback gives this offense a free first down and some yardage. The offense comes back out with a new set of downs after the penalty. He's going to pass. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10 after the previous play. He's looking to throw. Trying to get to it. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing. 3rd and long coming from the 27-yard line. You can make a field goal from here, just don't take a negative play. From the gun, wants to pass. Quick completion on the out. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. They want to just keep throwing it. Going for 6. Reels it in the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas State.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in game.
TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. What a feeling this has to be, David. Incomplete. Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Horned Frogs! And the punishment has been extended. That score will give them a little more room to operate here in the 4th quarter as they go for their 6th straight win. And they add the extra point to finish the drive. After scoring that touchdown, they'll try to get it right back with an onside kick. They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football.
Well, here in the 4th quarter, they were obviously expecting onside kick. They got their hands team on the field. They're able to jump on the ball and make sure they get possession.
Trying to find his man on first down. Going to try to pop one on the screen. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. Picked up some yardage with that completion, now 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Grabbed in the middle. It's Gore. They immediately call timeout, trying to preserve every second they can to try to rally here late. With a first down, they'll snap it from the 32. Looking to move it through the air. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Rice. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. He wants to pass it on 2nd down. They'll run the screen. Makes the grab, and it's enough for the first down before he's dragged to the ground. And the Wildcats come to the line with a fresh set of downs. He's looking to throw it. A little screen to the running back. He makes the stop, and a nice pickup there on first down leaves them in 2nd and manageable. The offense quickly calls timeout to stop the clock. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. On 2nd down, he'll let it fly. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to fight another play. Boy, they love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. He's looking to throw on 3rd and short. The quick out. He steps out of bounds, but it'll be enough to give them a 1st and goal. So close to cashing it in for this offense. To the air on first down. Got out of trouble and throws. Snagged on the outside. It's Gray.
He came into this year with big expectations. Everybody expecting him to stat it up. And now with that last completion, he's already over 2,000 yards passing for the season.
Looking for the score. Snagged exactly what the defensive coverage was, but it certainly wasn't part of the plan to leave him that wide open.
Oh, I don't think they know what their defensive coverage was either. How do you leave that big guy open down here in the red zone? You know the quarterback loves the big tight ends in this area. Really poor job by the defense.
He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. Now the chance to take a knee and just put the finishing touches on this. Gonna take a shot. And the ball is caught. He's inside the 35. Timeout is called. Clock stops. 13 seconds to go in the game.
You know, I love offensive coordinators that want to stay aggressive, and they've come up with big plays all game long. It's a big reason why they have this lead right now, and they're not backing off here in the fourth quarter. They're letting their guys go play. The entire playbook is open to them, and they're taking.
Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, TCU! And the route is on. They're on the board again, and it looks as if this winning streak is going to continue.
Man, you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he passes on the touchback. Here he comes. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. And here we go. Final play of the game right here. Going up top on first down. He's going up top here late in the game. A sensational grab down the field there as they try to at least put a positive spin on the end of this game. I bet it felt good to hit that quarterback late until you got an earful from the coach and cost your defense 15. Looking to go up top on first down. He's taking the deep shot. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. And he's down, and this game will end on a turnover. We're at the midway point of the season, and after the showing they delivered today, this team is firing on